Are your people working hard but not reaching their full potential? The problem is not effort, it is development. At the Modern Observer Group, we transform workforce development into real performance. Our human-centered achievement programs help your team think better, communicate stronger, and execute at a higher level. That means higher employee engagement, stronger leadership, and measurable results across your organization. If you want a workforce that performs, leads, and delivers, it is time to invest in your people. Visit modernobserver.com and discover how the Modern Observer Group helps you build a workforce that wins.
Trump in China, Russia launches a drone attack, wholesale prices rise, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. President Donald Trump arrived in Beijing on Wednesday for meetings with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The two leaders are scheduled to hold bilateral talks on Thursday. The agenda includes trade, artificial intelligence, Taiwan, Iran, rare earth minerals, agricultural purchases, and possible aviation deals. Trump told reporters this week that he planned to discuss an $11 billion weapons package for Taiwan that his administration approved in December, but is not yet fulfilled. China opposes U.S. weapon sales to Taiwan, which Beijing claims is its territory. U.S. and Chinese officials are also working to stabilize trade relations after years of tariff disputes. Before Trump imposed tariffs on Chinese imports in 2018, the average U.S. tariff on China was 3.1%. The average remains near 48%. China's share of the U.S. global trade fell from more than 13% in 2016 to 6.4% last year. A drone strike hit an Iranian opposition camp north of Erbil in Iraq on Wednesday, according to security sources. The sources said the strike targeted an arms and ammunition depot inside the camp. No fatalities were reported. The strike occurred as regional military activity connected to Iran remains under close international scrutiny. Reuters reported the attack Wednesday evening. Separately, Vice President J.D. Vance said the United States was making progress in Iran talks. No government immediately claimed responsibility for the drone strike. Russia launched at least 800 drones across about 20 regions of Ukraine on Wednesday, according to Ukrainian President Zelensky. Ukrainian officials said at least 6 people were killed and dozens were wounded, including children. The attack began in mid-morning and lasted for hours. It hit Kiev, Lviv near the Polish border, Odessa on the Black Sea, and other population centers. Zelensky said Russian forces were trying to overload Ukraine's air defenses. He also warned that cruise missile and ballistic missile strikes could follow the drone barrage. Emergency officials responded to fires and damage, including a gas pipeline fire. Hungary summoned Russia's ambassador after a drone attack near Hungary's border. Hungarian Prime Minister Peter Magyar condemned the strike and said his foreign minister would speak with the Russian ambassador Thursday morning. The Senate is one step closer to adding painful consequences for lawmakers who choose to shut down the government. The upper chamber on Wednesday unanimously advanced a resolution from Senator John Kennedy that, if passed, would prevent lawmakers from getting paid during future shutdowns. It comes after the once rare occurrence became a political cudgel wielded by Democrats time and again in the last year. Despite having spurred the 2 largest shutdowns in history, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats joined Republicans to move the measure along for a final vote. The Trump administration is launching a nationwide audit of state Medicaid fraud watchdogs, Vice President J.D. Vance announced yesterday. Vance delivered an ultimatum to all states to comply with anti-fraud laws or risk losing federal Medicaid dollars. Kevin Warsh was confirmed by the Senate yesterday to succeed Jerome Powell, whose term as the head of the central bank ends tomorrow. The vote was 54 to 45, with all Republican senators voting in favor and Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman as the only Democrat to join them. The vote reflects concerns about Warsh's commitment to the Fed's independence after President Trump repeatedly threatened to fire Powell for not lowering interest rates. U.S. producer prices rose 1.4% in April, the largest monthly increase since March 2022, according to Labor Department data reported Wednesday. Economists surveyed by Reuters had forecast a 0.5% increase. Producer prices rose 6% from a year earlier, the largest annual increase since December 2022, following a 4.3% annual increase in March. Services prices rose 1.2%, the largest increase in 4 years, and accounted for nearly 60% of the monthly gain. Goods prices rose 2%, energy prices rose 7.8%, and accounted for more than 3/4 of the goods price increase. Gasoline prices rose 15.6% after rising 19.2% in March. The report followed Tuesday data showing consumer inflation increased at its fastest annual pace in 3 years. Stocks traded lower after the report. The dollar and U.S. Treasury yields rose. That's the Raw Naked Truth for May 14th, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.